Welcome to New York Scene. I'm Julie Carlin, and this, as you'll soon know when you get here, is Times Square. Like everything else in New York, it's big and loud and confusing if you don't know your way around. So we're going to try and make it a little less confusing for you. We're not going to be spending a lot of time in the tourist traps like the Statue of Liberty and Wall Street. We think you know what those look like already. Since this show focuses on cool, hip things to do for little money, we're going to be spending most of our time below 14th Street in areas like Greenwich Village, Soho, and the Lower East Side. The show is broken into 4 sections: things to do during the day and night, tips around town, shopping, and maybe most importantly of all, eating. Also, New York Scene is all about showing you as much as possible. So unless you want to lug your VCR with you, keep your guidebooks handy when you get here.
Hi, I'm Clint. I'm a New York City hack. I'm the man who's going to get you around town, whether it's daytime, nighttime, work time, or party time. I'm going to take you so far out of your way, you're going to be begging me to take you back to your hotel.
This is Central Park. It's sort of the mother of all parks, and here you can do everything from biking to boating to just hanging out. As you can see, New York City is never very far away.
So what do you do when you go to Central Park?
Lie out, hang out, drink beer, and look at cute boys.
The reservoir to jog around, the bike paths. There's tons of stuff to do here. Just watching everyone. That's a great day right there. Just watching everyone else.
This is your first time here together, then?
Yes, it is. Our first time here together, and it's beautiful. The park is beautiful, the weather's beautiful, and my boyfriend is beautiful.
You probably know about New York's more famous museums like the Met, MoMA, and Whitney. But don't forget about the smaller ones, like the Old Merchant House. It's on 4th Street between Lafayette and Bowery.
95% of what you see in the house really did belong to and be used by the Treadwell family. Seabury Treadwell moved in with his wife and 7 children in 1835. In 1840, their youngest daughter, Gertrude, was born, and Gertrude lived here unmarried until she died in 1933. After that, the house was turned into the museum.
To catch a glimpse of New York City life in the 1800s, chamber pots and all, visit the Old Merchant House, where admission is $3 for adults, $2 for children and senior citizens. One museum you should definitely check out is the Museum for African Art. It's in Soho. It displays hundreds of African artifacts and is open Wednesday through Sunday.
This is Ivan Jensen, and he's an artist who lives in New York. Let's see what you get for $15.
good.
So why don't we say 15,000 then for it?
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
In the summer and fall, New York streets burst wide with street fairs and parades. This one is the famous Gay Pride Parade.
This is Washington Square Park. It's in the Village, and although it's a lot smaller than Central Park, it's a lot crazier and a lot funkier. Tell me about your snake.
What do you want to know about Rocco?
All right, his name's Rocco. How much does he weigh?
45 pounds, and most of that is rats.
Alive?
Alive.
So what do you think of Washington Square Park? How come you're here today?
It's crazy. It's a place you can bring a snake and feel at home.
Flea markets are huge in New York. We're at one of the biggest ones right now on 25th and 6th Avenue. It's happening on the weekends. How much is this?
It's 25. It's all handmade. It's one of a kind. Sticks are hand carved. It's also a piggy bank.
Will you take 10?
10 I couldn't. I go to 15 for you.
How about 12?
Well, I'm real close on 15. I'm not making too much profit on this.
Well, my name is the little hawk that sits by still waters running deep. I'm a Native American. I'm here at the flea market because this is what I do on Sundays.
So what do you do here?
Well, I sell my wares. You can see I have plenty of wares here, a lot of vintage items, but I'm really much more interested in what I make.
And what is it you make?
Well, I made my hat. I mean, can you...
It's lovely.
$12, huh?
Yeah, 12.
Is that cash right now?
Yeah, it's cash.
Okay, you have a deal.
This is St. Mark's, which is actually 8th Street in the East Village, where you can get everything from your nose pierced to a tattoo to great books on art and literature on the street, tons of vendors. You can get jewelry, hats, clothing, very hip place to hang out. The area of St. Mark's runs from about 6th Street through 9th Street and from Broadway down to Avenue A. Keep an eye out for the After Place Cube, near train stops for the N, R, and 6.
Yo, Scrapman plus Harley Davidson.
Soho means south of Houston Street and goes from Houston to Canal Street and runs between Broadway and 6th Avenue. A deserted industrial and warehouse district in the past, artists took advantage of its cheap rent in the 70s, and the area quickly transformed into the trendy, artsy neighborhood that it is today. You can get to Soho by taking the Enter the R train to Prince Street.
Your feet are screaming and bleeding, your stomach's growling and howling, your butt's starting to drag. It's time to stop for some chow. Don't worry, we're gonna get it good, we're gonna get it fast, and it ain't even gonna cost that much.
Nutritional needs aside, fast food is cheap and filling. For $1, you can't go wrong with the New York pretzel.
This is a New York deli. Often they're called Korean delis. They're on almost every corner in New York, and a good thing to know, they're open 24 hours.
Huge, hot, a bit doughy inside, we pick Essa Bagel as New York's best bagel shop.
This is something excellent to eat. It's called falafel, and it's only $2. Baked pita with tomato and lettuce, and falafel, which is ground chickpeas and spices. It's got a white sauce on it, and it's a staple of the New York diet. Here's a tip for you. Coffee shops are great. They're fast, they're cheap. They're usually open 24 hours, and they're on almost every corner in New York.
If you have a little more time for lunch, make it a point to sit down at these restaurants.
Another great restaurant we recommend is Dojo's. It's on St. Mark's, has excellent soy burgers, excellent stir fry, and it's pretty inexpensive too. If you're in the mood for Mexican for lunch, check out Benny's Burritos on Greenwich Ave in the West Village. There's also one in the East Village on 6th and Avenue A, and they're both excellent Mexican restaurants. Art de Pasta in the West Village on Greenwich Avenue. It's a fabulous place to eat pasta for lunch. Tell me, what makes your pizza so great?
Well, because I use the best ingredients there is. Whole fresh herbs, basil, fresh mozzarella, garlic, fresh, everything's fresh. I got all kinds of original, like vegetable pizza. We have white pizza, macaroni pizza, rigatoni pizza. We have fresh mozzarella and basil. I mean, all kinds, new style.
The pretzel $1, can soda $1, just aviawara $1.25. The hot dog I said $1 for normal days, for weekend $1.50.
Oh, McDonald's.
The Violet Cafe.
I like a place called Barry's Burritos and a bar on Broadway.
Usually I go to Dojo's. Dojo's?
I like to stay mostly in like a deli, perhaps like a cold cuts, like, or a tuna fish sandwich would be more of my choice.
My favorite spots are the dim sum places. One is called Tin Yik, which has one very good dish called War Tip, and it's very inexpensive. And then across the street from that is a place called My Lai, which has excellent desserts.
Shopping, shopping, shopping. That's what we're gonna do today, because that's what part of what this town is about. You're in town, you wanna look the part, we're gonna get you a new set of shades, a new set of shoes, a new suit of clothes. That means we're going downtown.
Hey, we're at Canal Jean. As the name implies, it's near Canal Street, has tons of jeans. It's 3 floors of everything from t-shirts to lingerie, and the operative word is cheap.
Okay, we're at Screaming Mimi's. It's on 4th Street off of Lafayette. They've got a lot of vintage clothes, shoes, bags, makeup, hats, everything. We're at Howdy Do on 7th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue in the East Village. It's a store where the 70s are alive and living.
Everything in the store represents our personal feel of art and fun, such as the Phyllis Diller's Philly Dilly Chili.
Oh, wow.
70s will always be in. All these are like $20. I mean, where can you get a brand new, spanking brand new vintage original transfers and prints for $20
Definitely.
from the 70s?
If you ever wanted to get a 90210 doll, this is the place. The whole cast of 90210. Oh, there's all these facts and information on Madonna. Pee-wee watches. A Pee-wee yo-yo.
If you really want to get cool mod.
Great.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Very hip, very
You can go-
fashionable.
So, of course, you see the silhouettes of women all over, and
What's this made out of?
polyester, of course.
Of course.
I mean, if it's not polyester, it's not it.
Absolutely.
We're standing in front of Magical Child. They call it a hardcore new age shop, and it specializes in everything from magic and herbs and witchcraft. It's an excellent addition to a day of shopping in New York.
The most important thing about witchcraft is that there is at least an equal half polarity of God that is female. So God is a woman, God is also male, but God is a woman. And we've gotten so far away from that that it sounds so absurd to people, but there's more women on the planet than men, so if God is of the likeness of the majority, maybe there is no male God and it's all female. Not everybody comes in and buys something. It's just a taste of that other world. It's very safe for everybody.
Fifth Avenue's famous shopping strip starts with FAO Schwartz at 59th Street and runs down to Saks Fifth Avenue on 50th Street. This is where you'll find the most beautiful and expensive clothes and accessories in the world. Out of the Super 3 department stores, Macy's, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Bloomingdale's, we picked Bloomingdale's for its great sales, high-tech store design, and its fast escalators.
You know, dining out may just be what New York City's really all about. Any kind of food you want in the entire world, we got it right here. Pick a cuisine and I'll find the restaurant for you.
We're at the Pink Teacup Restaurant. It's in the West Village, and as we've said, one of the great things to do is go out and eat in New York, and this is a soul food restaurant. That's what they specialize in. And you can get everything from frog legs and fried chicken to ham hocks, which is what we have here, and you get everything beginning to end. Soup, salad, your main course, vegetables, dessert, and a drink for about $10. So it's an excellent buy, and as you can see, there is tons of food here to eat.
It's a soul food restaurant, and I guess I would describe the soul food as being, as one of our customers said, during slavery it was the throwaway food that was left, and it was prepared traditionally by the black slaves, and it became very popular and is known all over the world as soul food. The ham hocks, the pig feet, the chitlins, fried chicken, cornbread, biscuits, peach cobbler, sweet potato pie, collard greens, black-eyed peas, lima beans, okra corn tomato. Some people call it succotash.
Very traditional Southern cuisine.
Very traditional Southern cuisine.
Right now we're at an Indian restaurant called Sonali. It's on 6th Street in the East Village in an area called Indian Row. The greatest thing about Indian food is that you get an enormous amount for your money, and it's not that expensive at all. Right now they're preparing a huge feast for us. Oh, wow.
It's cooked with mild spices. It's also cooked with tomato, green pepper, and onions, and it's served in that. It's very unique style. This is aloo paratha. This is stuffed with potatoes. This is puri. This is puffed up, is fried in vegetable shortening. Is very good. This is the chicken biryani. This is with chicken. Chicken, the rice and the chicken is cooked together with it. You have a little bit spinach also, and it's very mild.
What's this?
This one is the shrimp bengal. This is cooked with pineapple, almonds, and with a lot of shrimps. That's it. This is a sauce that you mix with the rice. Finally,
what's this?
Is cabbage. This is boiled cabbage. This is mild also. Right here, the amount will be, maybe I'll say like $16 or so at the most.
Wow, that's amazing. $16? You get a feast.
You know, the sun goes down, the lights go up, nighttime is the right time. That's the best time in New York City. That's when the action really starts to move. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's always something going on. It's time to go looking for some fun.
Okay, it is crazy on the street because it's showtime at the Apollo. This place has spawned everyone from Luther Vandross to Ella Fitzgerald. Wednesday nights are the shows, $5 to $20, and you get in and see an excellent show. It is very lively, it is very exciting. See singing, dancing, performing, comedy, everything you can imagine. We are here with Hazel, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And you are the host tonight.
I sure am. Something special to do because the Apollo is an important place. You know, a lot of great black performers have come through here. So to be on the Apollo stage is an honor.
Are you going to go perform tonight?
Yeah.
You are?
Yes.
Who, all of you?
Yes.
How old are you?
11 and a half.
11 and a half.
12. 9 and a half.
13.
14.
This is a really big night for you?
Very big night for us. I just promised them that someday, somehow, I would get them to the Apollo, and I didn't promise them a lot. I just promised one day that I'd get them to the Apollo, and they're here, and thank God for that.
Oh, that's wonderful. You guys excited?
Yes. If you can win this audience, if you can do whatever you do in front of them, then you can do it anywhere.
It's a tough audience?
It's absolutely tough, yeah.
What makes them so difficult?
Well, because the tradition is if they like you, they say yay, and if they don't, they say no. Boo, right there in front of you. And you know, as an artist, as a performer, your feelings get hurt.
Okay, we're starting off the music portion of New York Scene here at Ludlow Street Cafe. It's an excellent place to hang out, semi-grunge, very unpretentious scene. Tonight the band Feel is playing. Why don't we see how they are? Some of the greatest rock and roll. It also has some of the greatest jazz. Right now we're at Visiones in the West Village. It's a little place tucked away. $7 lets you in to listen to some of the greatest jazz ever.
To get a taste of New York's poetry scene, visit the Norican Poets Cafe. We recommend the Wednesday night poetry slam, where anyone can get up and put their own poetry on the line.
Bells are rung, rock jerks a clock, pistols cocked, a wanted advances blocked.
Better let him die in the desert drinking sand, or holding on to water and sipping into death, than they come back and see they suffering for vain. I done seen a man running for his life like the wind from a mob.
The cafe also has great music, book readings, and charges $5 at the door.
Okay, it's time for clubbing, and in New York City there are millions of clubs to go to. Different nights have different themes, they have different sizes, different types of people. So we are going to go to a few different clubs tonight, and with us is going to be Nicholas, who, here he is. And Nicholas has been clubbing since
The day you were born?
But I think before that.
Before the day he was born. So tonight, where are we going to go?
We're going to go here to the Roxy.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to Supper Club.
We're going to go to Supper Club?
And then we're going to head off to Tilt.
To Tilt.
I think. And
Okay.
then we will just take it from there.
Cool.
I think that's about it.
All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Why'd you come here tonight?
This is the only place to be on a Friday. This is what's happening, so everybody mingles over here.
Tell me, we're here. This is Roxy. What's up? What is this place?
Well, it's one of New York's bigger clubs, also the one that's been around a long time. Tonight's Friday, kind of a motley crowd tonight. Downstairs is the regular house music. Up here is what we call retro.
What about dressing for clubs?
Look in the magazines, you'll probably find a lot of nice things to wear. No, if you just look at people, you know what goes on.
What's the best time to come out clubbing in New York?
About midnight's about as early as you want to get out.
And how late does it go?
Goes forever. I mean, if you go to the right clubs, you can be there till 8 or 9 in the morning.
What about price? Is it expensive?
In the bigger clubs, your cover's like $18, $20, drinks like $6, beers $4. But you can find smaller clubs and it's like $4, $10, or $12 to get in.
Did you guys come here together tonight?
No, we've known each other for like, 5 years from clubs. We always see each other in clubs.
In the club, so that's...
We see each other all the time.
So you're club buddies?
I guess so.
Maybe more.
So, Nicholas, what do you think of the Supper Club?
Well, I think it's amazing how you can go ahead and walk down a New York street and then all of a sudden walk in this really great space. It's really amazing. It's really something else.
What kind of crowd comes to this place?
It all depends on the given night. We
All right.
cater to all levels of society, from formal dining to hip-hop, to gay crowds, to the Hamptons. Beautiful people.
Okay, what kind of crowd is it tonight on a Friday night?
This will be a gay transvestite crowd tonight.
How much is a mixed drink?
A mixed drink, it depends on what you're drinking.
Let's say just a vodka tonic.
$5 in the well, I get $6 on the shelf.
Okay, and what about a bottled beer, domestic?
$4.
We're at Tilt.
We're at Tilt.
Yeah, it's a very alternative kind of club.
Very retro. Well, it's not really retro. It's more of that downtown dyed red hair, pierce the nose, grunge scene.
This is a very downtown club. I mean, we're the heart of Tribeca, and being, where we are, we're tending to get more of the people who are not really into the quote-unquote club scene.
We're outside the Martin Beck Theater where right now Guys and Dolls is playing. We are, of course, on Broadway. One of the things you'll do when you get here, hopefully, is see a Broadway show. So we're going to give you a thumbnail sketch of what's going on right now. For cheap Broadway and off-Broadway tickets, come to the TKS ticket booth. It's in Times Square. You got to get here early. There are often hundreds of people in line. You get tickets for the same day's show, up to 50% off, and there is a $2.50 service charge.
Off-Broadway is tremendously important to the theater scene because it's the place where people can explore and work and develop, and it's non-commercial. It's a place where playwrights, directors, actors, everyone can work. And I think that there are many people who enjoy seeing that process and looking at young people, and there's a freshness about it, and also there's a closeness. The audience is right there.
Okay, this is Clubbing 101, take one. Club people not only recognize, they are recognized. Club people never look at invitation they're handed until they get home. Club people do not smoke toothpicks. Avoid using the word hippopotamus wherever possible. Club people know the importance of making...
A quick New York vocabulary lesson. This is not a taxi, it's a cab. This is not Manhattan, it's the city. You don't take the subway, you take the train. We don't go to a disco here, we go to a club. It's not Greenwich Village, it's just the Village. Forget about calling it Avenue of the Americas, it's 6th Avenue, and it's pronounced Houston Street, not Houston.
When you get to New York, you're going to be consulting the papers for things to do and what's going on around the city. So let's go through them really quickly. New York Times, it's sort of the mother of all papers, excellent for what's going on in the world and in New York. Funky Downtown, what's going on? Village Voice comes out once a week, and it's got listings and just tells you what's happening mostly in the village, hence the name Village Voice. There are some local papers which tell you what's going on in different areas and give you listings of free things to do. One is Downtown, one is Manhattan Spirit. Then we also have New York Press. This is a free weekly newspaper which has a number of listings, movies, plays, free events like lectures, also has a horoscope, which is always helpful.
Now, something that's very important to cab drivers and anybody in the service business is tipping. This is for your barmaids, your waiters, everybody. In a lot of cities, the gratuity's figured into your bill, but not in New York. So we're really counting on that 15 to 20% you can put on top, because that's what's making our bread and butter right there.
This is a New York City token. It's good for buses and subways. They're $1.25. You buy them inside the subway station. The subways and buses run up the east and west side and cross town, so the best thing to do is to get a map when you get here and familiarize yourself with it. It'll be a little less confusing that way. Here's another tip for you. If you're stranded on the street with no place to go, we suggest you use either a hotel or a fast food place. You can usually slip in and out, use their bathroom. They'll never know the difference.
Now, I know this is going to come as a great shock to a lot of you people out there, but there are actually some people in New York that make their living stealing. So what you need to do is make sure that wallet is in your front pants pocket. Handbags, pocketbooks, cameras, hold them close to your side. Don't let them dangle by the strap. And never hand over any kind of camera or baggage to anybody you don't know, or set it down and walk away, because I guarantee it will not be there when you turn around. A couple phone numbers you should remember. 411, that's the operator, that's information, can tell you any other number in the city. And 911. That's the police emergency line, connects you to an ambulance, fire department, the cops. Now, something you may see walking around town is this little card game they call 3-Card Monte. It's a variation on the old Army shell game. It is not gambling. It is not a risk. It is guaranteed you will lose. Never, ever stop and gamble with anybody in New York City on the streets.
Here's a clubbing tip for you. Cards like these, you can pick them up in banks, boutiques, bookstores all over New York City. They get you into clubs for free or sometimes discounted rates, and you get things like a free bar. This one is for the country club, and it gets you a free bar for an hour. They're definitely worth picking up. What do people wear going clubbing?
Shoes.
Shoes?
Well, I mean, shoes are really important as to whether a door person might pick you to come in a club. Some of the more exclusive clubs decides whether you're getting in or not by how you're dressed and whatever. And I know many doormen have said that you can tell a lot by a person by their shoes. A good motto to go by with clubbing in New York is if you can't get in, you can't go out.
How do you think people perceive New Yorkers?
I think that they think we're probably pretty rude because I think we have a tendency to be a bit standoffish because we're a little bit paranoid. But then I think they're pleasantly surprised when they do find a helpful New Yorker who's willing to go out of their way, because I think we are, but we're just a little nervous.
Were people friendly? Were people helpful for you?
Some of them were, not all of them. Sometimes, people would answer you rather than saying they don't know where the direction is, so they would tell you go that way, but it's this way, so you would walk 20 blocks and that, but that's okay. People are nice, yeah.
Okay.
You don't feel like weird because everybody is foreigner here.
Do you have any suggestions for people coming in from out of town since you've been here for a little bit now?
Give New York a chance. There's really a lot that the city has to offer, at least from what I've seen so far, and you definitely have to have an open mind because it's definitely different.
Well, now you had a look around town, you're on your own. Have a good time in New York. Bye-bye.
Hey, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed New York scene and have a great time when you get here.